It takes a village to raise a child. This proverb comes from numerous African tribes and languages. They all state in one way or another that the upbringing of a child is a communal effort that extends beyond the immediate family. They believe that that child is a blessing for the village. Do you have a village? When it rains, it can really pour. You know that time when you feel like you're stuck in an overwhelming, suffocating storm? Everything's coming at you at one time. It could be professional. It could be physical. It could be emotional. Have you ever used your village to help you weather a storm? I want to tell you about my storm. It's 2001. I was 50 pounds overweight. Herniated disc in my back, could barely move. My happy wedding day had to be moved forward so that my father, who was battling cancer, could attend. The investor who helped save our company from crumbling looked at me one day point blank and said, "Michael, if you were the CEO of a publicly traded company, we'd fire you." 9/11 occurred, rocked the nation, emotionally, economically. And on October 6th, exactly 14 years ago today, I held my father's hand as he took his last breath. I guess you could say I had a lot going on. I didn't really know my next move, but I knew that I was part of the problem. I was desperately trying to hang on to some things in my life while letting others slip through the cracks. In a way, I was your stereotypical entrepreneur. A dash of ADD, a little bit of OCD, mix it up with a little XYZ. I admit, I do like a little bit of chaos in my life, but this was too much, and I was absolutely unbalanced. It got to the point where I take my wife out for date night, my beautiful wife, and I'd find some reason to stop by the office and check the numbers. You can imagine how that night ended for me. But then it happened. Who knew that a simple sales call that I would never normally even take, asking me to come to a workshop based on, of all things, focus, would change the way that I view my life? I began to compartmentalize my life into what I considered the vital few areas that I needed to put my focus on. I thought of it like a triangle. Personal, family, business, or professional. And then I started to surround myself with people that I thought could help me in those areas. I guess unconsciously what I was doing was putting a village around me. I knew that it was going to take a village to raise this child. Personally, 50 pounds overweight. I was recently looking at pictures of my wife and I. We look like the number 10. She was the 0, or she was the 1, and I was the 0. That, of course, led to me hiring a trainer. But that wasn't going to be enough for this one. I had to recruit 2 of my best friends to wake up and train with me at 6 a.m. 3 days a week, partially for peer pressure and partially to make sure that I was actually getting out of my bed. I was using my village to micromanage me, which I wasn't used to, back to health. Family. Just recently married to my amazing wife. And she quickly realized that I had a little bit more emotional baggage that I was bringing to this party than she bargained for. I know. That was quite the catch. Of course, that realization led to marriage coaching twice a month. That was good. It also led to us interacting much more extensively with a community of entrepreneurs and their spouses who were dealing with the same challenges we were dealing with, balancing family and business. That was really a good thing because my wife and I now have 3 young boys, 7, 8, and 10. Every morning it's a dumpster fire at my house by 7 a.m. Today it was 5:55 as I was trying to get ready to catch a flight to come here. Business. Being told you're unfit to run your own company, that was pretty hard. But I was determined to do the job. Brought in a coach. He quickly put an accountability team around me, starting with my 2 business partners and my executive team. And we met every single month to talk about the business. In one of those meetings, we were talking about and discussing an inspirational business book that we had read. And the team decided it's time to change the primary customer of the business. I'm an entrepreneur. What do you think I said? Everyone's our primary customer. I resisted. Now I look back and realize that was my ego getting in the way. I was the last one to get on that bus. And you know what? Single best decision the company ever made. We never looked back. And I continued on my path of becoming what I like to call an entrepreneurial CEO. Dozens of studies have shown that people who are satisfied in their relationships with their family, friends, and community are happier, healthier, and live longer. In my case, my 2 best friends, they're fit. The business, and more importantly, the people in it, have grown and prospered, and our marriage is stronger than ever. When I was in that storm, I needed to let go and listen to my village. But along that journey, I learned one critical factor, one critical thing. We have got to constantly focus on growing, constantly focusing on getting better. And a funny thing happens when we do that. When we grow, when we get better, the village around us, the people around us, they grow and they get better. So when you're in your storm, that storm called life, it's not the time to hold it in and try to do it all yourself. That's the time to focus on the vital few items in your life. Dig in and reach out. Reach out to your village. Connect with them. Build them if you have to. And weather your storm. Thank you.